Editor-in-Chief of BNE IntelliNews Ben Aris, who joins us now from Berlin. Welcome back to the program, Ben. Can I start by asking you about the Ukrainian military's latest assessment? They say Russian forces are retreating from around Kiev to focus their efforts on moving deeper into the Donbass region. Do you believe that to be the case, and why would they be looking to do that?
It's hard to say. Definitely, the Russian forces in the immediate proximity to Kiev, Bucha and Irpin and the other suburbs of Kiev, they've moved back and allowed the Ukrainian forces to take back those territories. However, there's also reports that there's significant amounts of forces still in the vicinity of Kiev in the north. But having said that, definitely the military action, the focus of the Russian campaign has shifted to the south, the southern regions around Mariupol, where this morning it was reported some 200 Ukrainian soldiers defending the city had been captured, and they've been pounding that city. And Kherson, also down in the south, and around particularly the Donbass region, the two breakaway republics in Donetsk and Lugansk, fighting is particularly intense. And there it's very clear that the Russian forces want to capture and secure that Donbass region because I believe they have no intention of giving it back.
And explain to us the significance of the Donbass region to the Russians at this point.
Donbass is a largely, or was largely, pro-Russian region. I mean, it's Russian-speaking at least. The Kremlin's been handing out passports there, some 600,000, about half the local population. And it's also been the base for the separatist rebels who've been fighting against Kiev pretty much since 2014, when the country was divided by the Maidan process. And Russia's been backing those rebels and even has regular troops, advisors, has been supplying them with arms and material. And it's been a way to keep the pressure on the Kiev government, and particularly while that region is in dispute, it makes it impossible for Ukraine to join NATO, because the NATO Charter says you cannot join if you have a disputed border. So that's been going on in the background. However, it's been escalated now. This passportization, this handing out of passports, under the Russian constitution, it's obliged to protect its citizens wherever they are, including in foreign countries. And so it gives Russia a pretext for taking and annexing or declaring independence through a referendum to allow it to hive off a piece of territory. And we've seen it do that already with two regions in Georgia.
Meanwhile, to many in the West, the alleged slaughter of civilians in Bucha has become a wake-up call, and certainly the Ukrainians are hoping it will spur them into more decisive action into this conflict. Do you think it will?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the images we've been seeing coming out of Bucha and the other suburbs around Kiev are absolutely horrific. And it's reminiscent of the Chechen war. It's known as a Zachistka cleanup operation, where retreating troops summarily execute civilians. And it also testifies to the extraordinary hate that's been here introduced into the whole story by the Kremlin propaganda. They've been calling Ukrainians Nazis, but that's to play on the Russian, the whole national pride at the war, the defeat of Hitler. It's one of the most emotive issues that drives the Russians. The Russians don't even call it the Second World War. They call it the Great Patriotic War, because they lost 25 million citizens from the Soviet Union, 13 million Russians. And we've got the Victory Day, May 9th, just around the corner. Where the whole country comes out. I mean, every family in Russia was affected by that. Everybody lost somebody, an uncle, an aunt, a son. And what Putin's done is to take this very emotional issue and use it to stoke up this national pride, but particularly hate of Ukrainians. And that leads directly to the killing, the Zachistka we just saw in Bucha, where they've dehumanized Ukrainians. And these are people that up until 2 months ago were calling each other brothers, that they basically see themselves as one people, the Slavs. And suddenly to turn that around and see this hate driving these atrocities is truly shocking for someone who spent a lot of time in Eastern Europe.
Okay, Ben Aris, always good to get your analysis. Thank you again for joining us on the program.